Hi everyone, Bethany here. Welcome back to my channel. I am hopping on really quick to teach you a 5-minute tip that I recently learned and I want to try for myself. So let me switch the camera here and we'll get started.
Before I get started, I'm actually going to protect my work surface with some Glad press and seal. It's really great for those of you who aren't fancy enough to own a Tim Holtz glass media mat. I have it on my wish list of things for, Christmas coming up. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, hubby. But this is a nice, quick, easy, convenient way to protect your surface. And I'm trying to feel which is the sticky side and which was this. There, this sticky side. Don't necessarily need the sticky side for my paper. I have the A2 size card front. I cut it down. And we are going to use the Maker Forte Slimline stencil. It's called Starry Night Slimline. And another thing I'm going to try. This is actually a Heidi Swap magnetic mat. So this ruler is magnetic. I had little magnets that went with this, but I could not find them. So we are improvising here. But I'm going to line up the slimline as best as I can. So the edge of the stencil will stay there. And then I'm going to use my heavy duty Cricut ruler for the other edge so we aren't moving as much as possible. I've seen other ways to keep your stencil down, but this is my version of things with what I have, because you always want to use what you have. And so I'm going to use the Hickory Smoke Distressed Oxide, and I'm just going to rub it on. This, I'm looking for like a, and we already made a mess. But I'm looking for, a starry, it looks like stained glass window. And this would be a really cool stencil for lots of different colors. But for what I'm going for, I'm looking for more snowy, outside the window effect. So I'm not going to be super heavy on most of it. I'm just going to let the stencil do the work for me, as long as I can keep it from moving. Make it a little thicker on the base, a little heavier on the edges. And then, now that I think I have the texture I'm looking for, I'm going to use, I'm going to move this, I'm just going to move the top one out of the way. But this is just a water bottle, a spray bottle that I got from the Dollar Tree. It was in the hair section, and I'm going to just spritz a little bit of water. The effect I'm looking for is snow. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this paper towel, and I'm just going to dab up a little bit of that Distressed Oxide and see if the technique worked. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off. You can see that it needs to dry a little bit. There's a little bit of warping, but the effect has been achieved. And so now I'm going to stamp my sentiment really quick. And the nice thing about this is when it's done, you just move it out of the way. Don't need it anymore. Recycle, reuse if you need, but. And my sentiment, I'm going to use, you've seen me use it before, the Maker Forte Bold Holiday Sentiment stamp set. I'm going to use the Merry and Bright. Put it on my stamp block. And I'm going to use the Jim Holtz Distressed Embossing Ink. Put a little bit on there. Alright, now that looks good, set that aside. And I'm going to use the Recollections Tinsel Embossing Powder. It's a very fine powder. I like it. Seems to work with Christmas or, you know, anything celebratory, really. Adds that little bit of glitz and glamour. Alright. Go ahead and put this away. You can tell I'm trying to rush a little bit because I'm trying to do this in 5 minutes, so I'm against the clock now. Alright, and then I'm going to put this on high. And I'm going to just keep moving it until it's nice and glossy. Alright. Then I'm going to cut it down. And we're going to assemble. So you got the card front. This is mostly dry already. And it's got a little bit of snow flurries looking. It's a little smudged there. That's where the stencil moved. But I'm going to put the sentiment actually right there. So we won't see that part. We'll cover up our mistake. And with some tape runner, cap off. Going to lay it down, and I'm going to use one of those Michael's pre-made cards and put this over that because it's still a little damp. Actually, it's pretty dry, but I'm just going to tap it down slightly, and then using some Dollar Tree foam tape, I'm just going to cut two slices should do it. And add my sentiment onto it. Right where I had that little mistake going on. And there you go. You have a Starry Night card.
Thank you for joining me on this wonderfully rainy afternoon, and here is our end result for the Starry Night with using Distressed Oxide and water to make a little bit of a texture on it. So I hope you all have a wonderful evening, and I will see you very soon. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that bell so you know when we have a new video up. Thank you.